Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
तुझ बिन कोई न देखो मीत, किससे वो किस देवो चीत, किस पूछो किस लागो पाए, किस उपदेश रहा लिवलाए। गुर सेवी गुर लागा पाए, भगत करी राचो हर नाए। सिखिया दीखिया भोजन पाओ, हुक्म संजोगी निज घर जाओ, निज घर जाओ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਹਜ਼ੂਰੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਜੀ ਨਿਵਾਜੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਰਲ ਕੇ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਣੀ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। So today we're celebrating the birthday of our 7th Guru. The Sikhs are blessed that not only did we have one great Guru, a great teacher, a prophet, the light of God who came down upon earth in 1469 to teach us all, but Maharaj didn't leave straight away. They decided to stay around in 10 different lights. So for 200 years, the Sikhs had one person in charge. And that message that they had was consistent for 200 years. In those 200 years, the land that they came to, India, was changed totally. If you look from 1300s to 1500s, there wasn't that much change in India. If you look from 1100s to 1300s, not that much change. But from 1500s to 1700s, India's history had been totally changed. The Mughal kingdom was no longer going to be in India. Life was different. All of this was the kirpa of our gurus, and all the gurus called themselves Nanak. There was 10 of them, but they all called themselves Nanak. And here we're going to go to the birthday of the 7th Guru and the life of the 7th Guru. I just want to explain that bit at the front, the top that you're looking at the screen. Obviously it's in Gurbani. But Maharaj asked a question that says to God, why Guru? I don't see anybody apart from you as my friend. Oh God, the only person I see as my friend is you. Because ultimately, if we've come from the one, there can only be really one that we've come from. There can't be two of them, because then who made the other one? They can't be in competition. So we believe in just the one. Sahib mera eko hai pai, eko hai. There's one creator who made everything. Very first sentence, the very first word in Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is Ik Oankar. And it's not a word, it's the number. They could have written O-N-E. In Punjabi they would have written they would have written Iri se Hari Kaka, but they didn't. They put a number there, Ik. So anybody can look at that number and they can read it in their own language. And they said Ik Oankar. The one made everything with the sound Om. This is what creation came from. It's the Big Bang. When people think about the Big Bang, do you think it was a bang? If you'd been there, you put your ear to it, would you have heard a bang? No, that's not the sound. The sound we believe was Om. And with that sound, from the unity of the singularity of the Ik, everything expanded out. And Maharaj says that if that's where we've come from, and that one is looking after us, that one is our friend, Meet. And Maharaj says, who should I serve? Who should I become a servant of? Who should I give my consciousness to? Who should I decide to believe in? Maharaj says, who should I ask the questions and whose feet should I fall at? And the same way the Lady Magdalene falls at Jesus' feet and wipes his tears, with her tears she cleans his feet, and with her hair she dries it. And the same way the Sikh falls at the Guru's feet. And the Sikh asks this question, ki, Kis puchun? Who should I ask? Kis lago pai? Whose feet should I attach to? And then Maharaj says, Kis upadesh rahan livlai? By whose teachings can I be attached in love to God? Because the way to God is all about love. There's no other way to God. You can't get there by being proud. You can't get there by being the strongest, the richest person. The only way to get to God is through love. So Maharaj says then, Gur sevi, Gur lago pai, that I should become a servant of my Guru. To say seva is not always to wash up the dishes. There's people langar downstairs that can probably hear me right now. So maafi hegi hai, but the truth is that washing up dishes does not mean that you're doing seva. If you're serving Guru, then you're doing seva. If you're washing up dishes but you're serving your own ego, if you're saying I'm so good because I'm helping out over here feeding people, then actually you're not serving Guru, you're serving yourself. To become a servant is to become a sevak, and only seva can be done by somebody who's a servant. So the mentality has to be right, that we serve our Guru. Guru sevi, I serve my Guru, Gur lago paya, follow my Guru's feet, Bhagat kari. And as I do bhakti, very hard to translate that word into English, because worship isn't adequate. Bhakti means that systematic, daily worship, contemplation, the love, the earnest desire to meet God. Earnest desire. And in that earnest desire, we put it into action. It's not that I wake up every morning and go, oh, I wish I could meet God today, and then 2 minutes later I'm back to my normal life and involved with everything else. No. When I sit there for an hour and a half, and my only desire is to worship God and say His name, and I repeat His name, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. This is the name that we've been given. But somebody of another religion can use their name. It doesn't, Sikhs are not trying to say to people, you have to use our name for God. Maharaj says God has no specific name. Niraname, He has no name. However, we have to take a name for Him. And that name comes to us from a teacher, an enlightened teacher. So the Sikhs have been given this name, Vaheguru. The earnest worship, the earnest contemplation, the earnest desire to meet God, this is bhakti. And this is what Sikhi is about, to become a bhagat. The same, what you might call a saint. So to get to that path of being a saint, we must do bhakti, which is worship, but daily worship, meditation, spiritual discipline. Maharaj says, Bhagat kari racho har nae. I am absorbed in God's name. This is what worship is for us. Worship for us is not always what other people think, just sit there saying some random word and clearing out your mind. No, to be absorbed in God's name. What does that mean? To call God. How simple is it? Just to meet God, you just have to call God. This is what Sikhi is about. Just call God to meet God. People have made it so complicated, I don't know how to find God. Maharaj is saying He's inside you, He's not far away from you. All a person needs to do is wake up in the morning. It doesn't have to be the morning, when it takes some time out. But the mornings are normally better because no one's bothering you that much. But if you wake up in the morning and you actually say God's name, just call God. Whether it's a Lord's Prayer, whether it's as a Muslim, the 99 names of Allah, or as a Sikh to say Vaheguru and read the prayers, those things are what's going to count when we leave this world. The rest of the stuff won't count. So for us, it's very simple. Just say Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. And just like a baby that doesn't give up when it wants milk, it keeps on crying, it keeps on crying. And the more you deny the baby the milk, the more the baby cries, and louder. In the same way, a Sikh, when they say Vaheguru, Vaheguru, doesn't spend 5 minutes and goes, oh well, it's not working for me, forget it. No. The Sikh must be thirsty and endeavor even more, work even harder, until one day that hard work will pay off and the Sikh will experience Vaheguru. Because Sikhi is not saying that a human being has to wait until they die to meet God. That doesn't make much sense, given that God is right here, right now. It makes more sense that when we say God's name, that we will experience God. So for us, the Naam is linked to up here, Dasam Dwar. This is the spot on the body that's been given to all humans by God to experience the divine. And Jera Racho Har Nae, the experience of merging with God, this is all about saying God's name and experiencing God. And those people that experience God now, then they keep wanting to say more. They want to say Vaheguru, Vaheguru even more. Guru Sahib says, I've got a fire inside me. And the fire is only cooled by the name. Only by merging with you can I experience that cool. But then they say something very interesting as well. They say, Madho, jal ki pyas na jaye. They say, oh Vaheguru, although I'm thirsty for water, when I drink it, my thirst does not go. And the same way, a Sikh which is worshipping God, when they start to experience God through God's name, it doesn't mean they get fulfilled there and then. They want to say even more and more and more. And Maharaj says in that Barney that as they go into the water, as they drink the water, Jal mein Agan Udi Adakai. That as they go into the water, the fire gets even stronger. So basically, what Guru Sahib is saying is that God is addictive. Yeah? God is very addictive. Now, there are many addictions in this world. Many addictions. And some people say, it's all right to have that addiction, no big problem, have it. You know, why don't you have a nice time with it? It's all right, you're only alive once. But actually, the best addiction to have is the addiction to God's name. Maharaj says that is the addiction, that the experience of that God is so amazing. Why don't we try it? So before we start with this, Maharaj finish off this Shabad. Maharaj says, Sikhi Dikhiya Bhojan Pao. Maharaj says, Sikhi for me, the teachings of my Guru, Dikhiya Bhojan Pao. This is my food that I eat. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing we think about is breakfast. It's even called breakfast because we break our fast. Because you've been not eating since about 7 or 8 o'clock the night before, and it's been 12 hours. In one day from 7 to 7, if you wake up in the morning 7 a.m. and you don't eat till 7 p.m. You'll be starving. Yeah? You'll be starving. But rati at night time, if you finish off your dinner at 7, you don't eat till 7 morning, you'll be fine. That's why it's called breakfast. You break your fast. Maharaj says, before you break your fast with food, break your fast with God's name. Look, it's been 8 hours while you've been asleep, 6-7 hours. And during that night time, most of us are not at the level where we can remember God's name all night long. So we should wake up in the morning and then say God's name, say the prayers. Whichever religion we've been blessed into, then let's focus upon that religion, because there's truth. There's truth there. And if we don't find it there, if we have no religion, then let's go and search for the truth. Maharaj says, Sikhi Dikhiya Bhojan Pao. That these teachings, this Sikhi of yours, Maharaj, this is my food and this is my love. Love Sikhi. Love the teachings. Yeah? Love all the holy teachings. And Maharaj says, Hukam Sanjogi Nij Kar Jao. And if you fall into God's will, if you fall into the system that is made for you, and realize that human beings are created to meet with God. The human beings weren't created just to follow after their lust, anger, greed, pride and attachment. If we remove ourselves from what the world is telling us and we realize that inside us is God, that we can merge, we can say His name and experience Him. If we fall into the hukum of our Guru, the orders that He's giving us, then we will meet God. Sanjogi. Sanjogi means to join. Vichadya means to separate. Sanjogi means to join. Then when that experience happens, Maharaj says, Nij Kar Jao. Then you go to your own home. God is not something strange to us. We've come from God. So then we're going to go back to God. Nij Kar, our own home. Maharaj says, Seje. When you experience Vaheguru, the experience will make you realize that this is the thing that you came here to come from. You came as a human being to experience God. Prani tu aya laha lan. O human being, Maharaj says, you've come here to earn some profit. But what's the capital? To earn profit, you must have capital first. You've got to invest something to get something back. The capital is this life, the breath that we have. If we use these breaths to meditate upon God's name and call Him, then with that experience, we will go home. We'll come here, we'll have achieved what we came here to do. So, in this talk, then we're going to go through Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, how they became Guru, their life stories, their achievements, and how they passed on the Guruship. So, how did Guru Har Rai Sahib Maharaj become the Guru? Now, the 6th Guru, the P6 and P7, that means Patshahi Chevi and Patshahi Satvi. The 6th king to the 7th king. Because the Guru for us is not just a spiritual leader, he's a king as well in temporal affairs. Okay? So Maharaj tells us in their history, if we read their history, that Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was the 6th Guru. And in 1638, when they were 42 years old, it was time for them to pass on the Guru Gaddi, the Guruship. They had 5 sons and 1 daughter at that time. Now, 3 of those sons had passed away by that time. Okay, Jyoti Jyot. Baba Gurditta Ji had passed away, Baba Atal Ji had passed away, Baba Ani Rai had passed away. One of them, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, who became our 9th Guru, okay, he was in meditation. He was far away. 20 years, mostly underground, doing meditation. And Surajmal, the other son, was not that interested. Now, Baba Gurditta ji, who'd passed away, had actually, his name is Gurditta, means the Guru's given him. And what was it? He was given away to Baba Shri Chand. Anybody know who Baba Shri Chand was? Guru Nanak Dev Ji's son. So the first Guru's son had come to Guru Hargobind Sahib, 6th Guru, and said, you got 5 sons, I haven't got any. He never got married. He said, give me one, I'll bring him up. And Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj just said, yeah. He gave his eldest son, called him Baba Gurditta, the given of the Guru, the gift of the Guru. He was given away, but he did get married even then to Bibi Nihal Kaur. And Baba Gurditta had 2 sons, Tirmal and Har Rai, who was going to become the 7th Guru. So, as you can see there, the Guruship was then given to the grandson Har Rai. Now, we're going to go into now, in a minute, the story of the flowers. But basically, Tirmal is the eldest son. But Tirmal proves not to be worthy of the Guruship. And Guru Har Rai proves to be worthy of the Guruship. So he then goes to the grandson, and we'll go into this. Before we do this, a little quiz for people, because sometimes people get a bit confused about the Guru story. Because remember, it's now gone to grandson. So let's look at the family tree. Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj, 3rd Guru. Okay? Now, how's Guru Amar Das Ji related to the 4th Guru? It says Mahalla Tija, M3, that means the 3rd Mahal, the 3rd palace of our Guru. Because he's a king, he lives in a palace, so we call it, the Guru's body is a palace. So, Guru Amar Das Ji, Mahalla Tija. It goes to Guru Ram Das Ji, Mahalla Chotha. Anybody know how they were related? It's a quiz. Hanji. Father-in-law. Guru Amar Das Ji's daughter married Guru Ram Das Ji. ठीक है ना? Bibi Pani Ji married Bhai Jetha Ji. And Guru Arjan Dev Ji, 5th Guru. Somebody else apart from Bhai Sahib, he probably knows all the answers. Anybody else want to hazard a guess? Son. Yeah, the 3rd son of Guru Haram Das Ji was Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. And they were 18 when they became the Guru. So after that comes the 6th Guru, who is the only son of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj. But look at this. They become the Guru when they're only 11 years old. In 1595 they're born, and then when they're in 1606, when Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj gives Shahidi, then they become the Guru. Now, we said a little minute ago, if you remember now, that Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, one of his sons was Baba Atal. Yeah? Another one of his sons was Guru Tegh Bahadur, he became the 9th Guru. And then from there, if you look next to Baba Atal on the left, is Guru Har Rai, the grandson. And he's only 8 years old when he becomes a Guru. Anybody here 8 years old? 7, 8 years old? Do you want to stand up? Show everybody how tall you are? Let's have a look at both of you. Come on. Look. Guruji was only that old, huh? And every Sikh was bowing to their feet. Every Sikh was saying, Guruji, you have the light of God inside you. So Sikhism does not believe in ageism. Yeah? People who are old, people who are young, have still got the light of God inside them. Okay? It's accessible to everybody. So then, and Guru Gobind Singh Ji is a son of Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, who's the 9th Guru, and then the 10th Guru is Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So you can see now, if you're guessing, if you're looking carefully, you'll see that Guru Har Rai Ji's cousin is Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Yeah, they're cousins, they got the same grandfather. And then Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji has a son, Guru Har Krishan, and Guru Gobind Singh Ji has 4 sons. Guru Har Rai Sahib has 2 sons, but Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji, the 8th Guru, and the 4 Sahibs are cousins as well. Yeah? Guru Gobind Singh Ji is 9 years old when they become the Guru, and Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji is 5 years old. 5 years old. Anybody 5 years old? You 5 years old? 6. Younger than you then, Guruji was, and they became the Guru. So age, again, you got to remember now, there's 4 Gurus under 11 years old when they became the Guru. Sometimes we think Sikh is for old people. Yeah? Everybody gets old, they say, oh, let's stop drinking, now let's become a Sikh, let's start going to Gurdwara. Yeah? Gurdwara's full of old people. And the youth, we say, don't worry, you have your life, play, go on, enjoy yourself. Not knowing, we send them down the path of poison, so then later on it's going to be even harder for them to get back into this path, because the world is addictive. Just like God is addictive, Maya is also addictive. Yeah? So choose your addiction early on. Choose the right addiction early on. Don't go down the wrong way and then try to come back the right way. It's harder. So, moving on. Gurdwara Maharaj is born in 1630, Guru in 1638. And these dates are from Gurbani Part Darpan. There are many other dates out there, but we use these ones because it's a verified source of our history. And they pass on the Gurgadi when they're only 31 years old. Okay, they're Jyoti Jyot. They leave this earth. So they don't live for very long. 31 is younger than me right now. Maharaj says that anyway, Guru Sahib was Guru for 23 years then. Okay, but from a very young age, they got married and they had two sons, Ram Rai and Hari Krishna. Okay, and if you look at the picture, you'll see that they're dressed as a soldier because Guru Sahib kept up the traditions of their grandfather, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj. Okay, they were armed just like their cousin Guru Gobind Singh Ji, just like their uncle Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, just like their grandfather, and their father Baba Atal was also a warrior. Okay, so they kept up the tradition, but they never got in any big fights. They never got in any battles. They had 2,200 soldiers, armed soldiers, always at their disposal, but they never got into any battles. There was one defensive skirmish. Sikhs won that one as well. Okay, but they did keep the army, the Akal Sena. Now, kindness. This is one of the stories that's very nice about Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. It's good for us to remember this story because when they were young, and they used to obviously be around their grandfather, at that time, they saw Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. When they used to get their food, Guruji would share their food with the birds. And they would share it, but one day, the birds started fighting. If you look sometimes at ducks, they get a bit angry with each other. They want to steal the food off each other. So these pigeons and stuff were fighting. And one of the Sikhs saw this, was worried about Guruji, took a stick and started waving it into the birds. And he hit a bird, and that poor bird fell down. And Guru Sahib was very unhappy. He said they were just doing what's normal to them. Yeah? We didn't have to beat that bird. You see that bird there injured? So Maharaj, when Guru Har Rai was very young, they watched the kindness of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. And they learned from that. And there was an incident in their life where before they were Guru, they were rushing about in a garden and they had a big cloak, as you can see there when they're little over there. That's there with Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, the 6th Guru. And they're rushing about with their cloak and they knocked off a flower. Their cloak got caught into some thorns, and as they ran on past, the flowers fell off and the plant was killed. And Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji was very sad that they unintentionally has caused that pain. They weren't the Guru then, but they were obviously of a very enlightened soul, very compassionate. They had a tear in their eye. And then their grandfather, the Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, told them that you shouldn't think, now that you're big, make sure you learn this lesson, that no matter how big you get, okay, you should always be gentle to the small things. Okay? And walk in this life with care. Because unintentionally we might do many things. You might do many things unintentionally. So we have to take care in this world. And Guru Sahib always applied this message. They would walk always carefully after that. Now imagine, they learned this before they were 8 years old. But for the rest of their life until they were 31, they always walked very carefully. Now many times, myself, I'm the prime example of this. I learned something, 10 minutes later I've forgotten it. I say to myself, I must apply this in my life always. And what happens to me? Straight away, it's out, in through one ear, out the other ear. But to understand something, to sunna is a big gun. Maharaj and Japji Sahib explains to us the power of sunna. And also later on we'll see that when Guruji became the Guru, even though they were hunting, they actually set up an injured animal shelter as well. Yeah? They didn't believe that all animals are just machines, they've got no soul. For us, every animal has a soul, every plant has a soul. And therefore Guru Sahib, in their daya, in their compassion, they set up an animal's home. If you watch the little video of the Guru song that we made, when it comes to Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, the action we teach the kids is this one, a stroking animal, yeah, and taking care of it. Another little lesson about Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. Okay. So, when Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji became the Guru, there were some sects around at the time as well. Okay? Their own grand uncle, Priti Chand, the elder brother of Guru Arjan Dev Ji, has set up his own group called the Meenas. And also, their elder brother, Tirmal, I said to you that before, he was a bit dodgy, he didn't get the Guruship. Okay? Tirmal has set up his own sect as well. Was trying to get people to follow him. And basically, Guru Sahib didn't want to write any more Barney to confuse the issue. So they didn't write any Barney. Okay? So when we go into Guru Granth Sahib Ji, we see the first 5 Gurus. We don't see anything but the 6th, 7th or 8th Guru, but then Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji starts writing again. Okay? So they didn't write any Barney, but they did keep up preaching. They would travel and they would go out there to spread Sikhi. They visited off the far off places, the seats, the manjis are called the seats. They appointed people to become preachers. They said, go off there and do prachar over there. And one of those pracharaks, okay, was Pai Gondaji. You can imagine there is a Sikh who's lying at Guruji's charan like this, matha taking. In the same way, Pai Gondaji was a very favourite Sikh of Guruji. And what Guruji did, they told him, Ki Pai Gondaji, I want you to go to Kabul. Now nowadays Kabul is a war zone. Okay, you don't want to go there. But even in those days, it wasn't the greatest place to live because there was a lot of religious fanaticism. Okay, even in those days. And in those days, Guru Sahib said to Pai Gondaji, go and preach Sikhi in Kabul. Go and teach Sikhi over there. And any money you get, spend it on langar. Feed people. It was a challenge. Pai Gondaji accepted it as Guru's hukam, as Guru's order, and he went there. Now once, Pai Gondaji was missing Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. He's really missing his Guru. And as he sat down for his breakfast and started doing his prayers, when he got to the end of those, they did the ardas, he just fell at Guruji's feet. He imagined his Guru was in front of him and he just lay there holding on to his Guru's feet. And there down back in Kiratpur Sahib, where Guruji was, Guru Sahib was sitting there and the Sikh said, Maharaj, it's now time for lunch. And you can see the thali there at the top, plate of food. They brought a plate of food out for Maharaj. Maharaj didn't look at the food. They just ignored it. Sikh said, oh, if Guruji is not eating, we can't eat. So they didn't eat either. So everybody's sitting there hungry. No one's eating. Guru Sahib was just sitting there, not moving. Then it gets to the evening and the evening meal is made. And everybody says, Maharaj, have some food. And Guru Sahib says, no. And they ignore the food again. And at that point, some Sikhs came to Guru Sahib and they said, Maharaj, you know, we believe in you. You're not eating, we won't eat. But he said, Maharaj, not every Sikh is that faithful. Some Sikhs, they just come to Gurdwara to eat. They come to you and they want to come here for 5-10 minutes, matha take, then they want to go downstairs and have langar. And if langar is not available they won't even come. Maharaj then thought about it. They didn't feel scared about those Sikhs leaving, but what they did do is bless Pai Gondaji there up in Kabul. And Pai Gondaji was blessed at that moment, and in that pleasure let go of Guru Sahib's feet. And Guru Sahib woke up and they said, Nihal, Nihal, Nihal. Yeah? That Pai Gondaji has been blessed. And with those blessings, they then got up as well. And the Sikhs asked the Maharaj, what was that all about? How come you didn't get up? Guru Sahib said, how could I get up when Pai Gondaji was holding on to my feet for all those hours? For all those hours, Pai Gondaji was there in Kabul holding on to Guru's feet. And Guru Sahib, in his love for the Sikh, Guru Sahib was in love there, letting the Sikh hold his feet. So for us, our Guru is always by our side. Gur mere sang sada hai nale. Just because Guru is not here physically in front of us, obviously they're here right now, but if we're away from the Gurdwara and they're not there, that doesn't mean our Guru is not by our side. Okay? Guru Sahib always listens to his Sikhs. Those who pray to him, then he listens to their prayers. Now, Guru Sahib didn't write any Barney, but, sorry, this is the quote. Here's a quote from Barney, which we read out earlier. Gur sevi gur lago pae, pagat kari racho harnai. As we serve our Guru, as we fall at his feet, then we worship God. To fall at Guru's feet is to start the path of worshipping God, okay, of sincere worship and getting immersed into God's name. There's another beautiful story about Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, which explains to those people that come to Gurdwara and they wonder, why do the Sikhs bow down to this book? Maaf karna Sangat Ji, I'm not using my words, but a very common saying that the Sikhs are worshipping a text. We bow down to it. Before we go do anything, we seek its advice. It's Guru Granth Sahib Ji for us, yeah? It's our Guru. But at the same time, it's a Granth, a text, a compilation. So here's the power of Barney. Some people said to Guru Sahib, they said, Guruji, we don't understand part. And I get this question a lot myself. They go, we don't understand Gurbani. Should we still read it then? Should we still put the effort to keep on reading if we don't understand it? And Maharaj said, I'll tell you the story tomorrow. I'll give you the answer to this tomorrow. And the next day when they were going walking, as they would every day go for a seher, go for a walk, Maharaj came across and they showed the Sikhs, you see those pots over there? And in those days people used to carry things in pots, earthen pots. And some of the pots, when they get broken, they get thrown into an area, they would get thrown into this area. So there was a place full of different kinds of pots. Now, some of those pots stank because they were full of food and it was rotting away. There wasn't a nice smell. But other ones smelled really nice. Because you see in India, when they go anywhere for religious places, they always light a little candle made of ghee. And when it heats up, yeah, it's a nice smell. It's not seen as a horrible smell, it's seen as a nice smell. And if you grow up around that smell, we don't do it over here that much, then it does smell nice to you. And Maharaj says, look at some of those pots, that will give you the answer. And the Sikhs said, I don't understand, Maharaj. They said, go over there, look at the pots, bring them back over here. And in these broken pots, Maharaj said, look, smell this one and smell that one. Sikh said, Maharaj, explain what you mean. They said, you see that ghee there? Those pots, they used to carry the ghee. When the ghee was taken out, when the ghee was taken out, then still some remains inside. And when the sun's light falls upon that, then it heats up and it melts and it shines and it still smells nice. So where the Barney goes in and then the soul leaves, that soul gets attached to the Barney. It gets washed by the Barney. And the Barney always leaves this mark. Always leaves this mark. So therefore, what goes inside will come out. Maharaj says, Jo ji hoye so ugve, muka kahya wow. What's inside you will come out. So for us as a Sikh, even if we don't understand Barney, we should put it in because it will always leave a mark. Yeah. The other thing is, if we understand what our Guru is Guru is Paras. Paras is a famous philosopher's stone. The whole world was seeking a stone that you could touch to some metal and it would become gold. If you look at the history, many alchemists, even in the UK, were looking for this philosopher's stone. And if you touched it, like King Midas's touch, you'd put metal to it and it would become into gold. Yeah, iron. Maharaj says, Gur Paras Ham Lo. Guru is that stone, we are the metal. As we come to our Guru and we touch him, then we get sanctified as well, we get purified as well. But in a way, if you understand that broken pot, another interpretation of this Shabad could be this. That you know when the ego that's keeping us separate from God, if we use Gurbani to break our ego now, and that pot breaks, then what will happen is that in those times when we go through hard times, when the sun, the heat of the sun is so unbearable, and it heats up our insides, then at that time, that Barney which has gone in, it will melt, it will make us soft, and then the Sikh will shine, while other things will not shine. Everybody's pot's going to break at some point, everybody's going to be under the sun. But if you've put in nice ghee of Gurbani, then you will shine, whereas other pots will start to stink. So for us, the Barney is that khushbu, yeah? And this is the Shabad that's written here on the left. Maharaj says, Re man, oh my mind. Maharaj is talking to his mind. Now look, think about this. Sometimes our mind does the wrong thing. We want to do something nice, but our mind does the wrong thing. So the game of Sikhi, the game of a Sikh, is to win over the mind. Man jeete, jag jeet. So Maharaj says, Re man, oh my mind, aisi harsyo preet kar, jaisi jal kamleh. They said, love God like this, my mind. Love God like this, like a lotus loves the water. A lotus flower is attached to water. It can't live outside water. You can't take it out. The Maharaj gives an example. They say, Lehri naal pachadi hai, pi big se asnehe. They say, you know, when the winds come and the waves come, then this poor lotus which is going from the bottom and coming to the top, it waves around like this all the time. But it never breaks. It never breaks its bond. It stays attached. Lehri naal pachadi hai, moves around, but pi big se asnehe. It's still blossoming forth, and it's in love with the Barney. It doesn't blame the water. It doesn't say, I hate you, water, for waving me about. It says, no, without you, I couldn't live. So that's how a Sikh should be. In good times and bad times, if we read Barney now, it will be that light inside us. It will give us the chance to shine. I'm going to finish off with last two stories. This one is a story of a famous story about a Bibi who wanted to see her Guru. Her name was Mata Taboji. Now, she had lived a life when she was very proud of her beauty. She was very good looking when she was younger. But Maharaj tells us that everybody will get old once. Jar ai jobana harya. When we get old, we'll get rusty. The people that are old amongst us, people like myself who are getting now towards getting old, will understand that when it was younger, we were like shiny. Now we're starting to get rusty. Maharaj says, Jar ai jobana harya. Joban is a youth, will be lost when we get rusty. So Maharaj says this way, she lived a life of pride over her good looks, and she hadn't been a very good mother. In fact, she'd got rid of her two children because she didn't want to look after them, two daughters. Now she had nothing, no family, but she regretted bitterly how she lived her life. She was very sad about it. And in this time, she heard that Guru Sahib was nearby. She was a Sikh. She was starting to reform her life. She had big regrets, like all of us do, like I do. Many people do have regrets. We wish to do something better now, change for the better. Then she decided that although she wasn't worthy to do Guru Seva, that she wanted to feed her Guru. So she made some roti. Some people say she even stitched a shirt for Maharaj. She made some roti, she put some makhan on it, some butter, and some good sugar cane sugar. She put it on there. It's quite a sweet dish to have in India. It's very nice. She made it with a lot of love, and she was hoping she could just get to the langar of the Guru and pass it on, so it might get to Guru. She didn't feel she was worthy to give it to Guru Sahib herself. And as she approached Guru Sahib, where they were in a tent doing talks over there, there were many, many rich people there, many, many powerful people there. She felt very out of place. And she knew that she in her life hadn't done anything worthy in any way to go in front of Guru Sahib. But then as soon as she got close, Guru Sahib stood up themselves. In front of all these people, Maharaj stood up. And they went up to Mataji and they said, I'm hungry. Have you got anything? Mataji looked at Guru Sahib and she got the roti out. Maharaj there and then ate the roti. And they said, thank you, mother, for such food. And Mata Taboji there realized her Guru was Antarjami. He's a reader of every heart. He's a forgiver of everybody. Patit Pavan. He is the people that are patit, the people that have fallen away, that have sinned, he is the one who can purify them, Pavan. So this Shabad here explains that. Maharaj says, Nicha andar neech jaat, Nichi hu at neech. I have no caste. I am the lowest of the low, Maharaj says. I am the lowest of the low. Nanak tinke sang saath. Nanak says, I am with those people who are the lowest of the low. Guru Sahib doesn't look for the rich people. We said at the beginning, we can't please God. We can't buy Guru's worship. We can't buy him with money. Maharaj says, Nanak tinke sang saath vadya syo kya rees. What do I want to compete with the rich people? Maharaj says, I'm with the poor people. Guru Sahib is always happiest there. And then this last line, Maharaj says, Jithe neet samaliyan tithe nadar teri bakshish. Where the poor people are looked after, that's where Guru Sahib's kirpa is. That's where their blessings rain down. Like a shower, they bless those people that serve the lowest of the low. That's why langar is open to everybody. If you go downstairs, there's free food. the reason for that free food is that anybody can come here and have food. The most hungry person, the poorest person, gets to sit on the same level, the same seat as the richest person. Now Sikhs have been blessed by their Guru that they're normally quite well off. Wherever they go in the world, they are quite well off. And yet, every Sikh Gurdwara serves free food to everybody, regardless of their colour, their caste, their religion, sexual orientation, anything. And if you go to any Gurdwara around the world, many poor people have figured this out. Even in my Southall Gurdwara at 4 a.m, you see people queuing up. They've been staying outside the whole night. They haven't got a house. They haven't got a place to stay. But at 4 a.m, they know the food will be open and there's hot food being served. They'll turn up to have a meal. This is the tradition of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. From that time, for the last 500 years, Sikhs have been feeding people because Guru Sahib says these words. The way the poor people looked after, that's where the blessings of God rain down. Even Jesus Christ said the same thing. He was asked that when you go in from this world, you'll be judged. He said, you'll be judged. And what he said is that I will come to you in my life in many forms. And when you leave this world now, the questions they will ask you are, did you feed me when I was hungry? Did you clothe me when I had no clothes? Did you house me when I had no shelter? The same things, God is inside every single soul. So for us, that person who walks into the Gurdwara to have food is not just a poor person, it's the light of God walking in. And if a Sikh turns him away, the Sikh is turning the Guru away. And the Guru Sahib says very clearly that this Golak here, this is called a Golak. Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, the 6th Guru, the grandfather of Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji. Once some Sikhs brought some honey for them from Kashmir. They brought this honey down for them, but on the way, one Sikh felt very ill. He was so ill, he asked the rich Sikh, can I have some of the honey? I'm not feeling so well. And honey warms you up. He said, no, this honey is not for you. This is for Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji. How can I give it to you? When Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji received these Sikhs, and the Sikh offered the honey to them, Maharaj said, I don't want your honey. I go, I don't want it. The Sikh said, Maharaj, why? He said, when I asked you for it, you didn't give it to me. Why do I want it now? Guru is inside every Sikh. Guru Sikh andar sadguru vartada. Yeah? Inside every Sikh, the Guru is working his magic. So Maharaj says that for us, where the poor are, that's where we should serve. No matter how big the rich and the Sikh people get, as Guru Hargobind Sahib has taught us, we have to look after the poor. Guru said, the Grieved Ammu, Guru ki golak. The mouth of the poor person is a Guru's offering box. You want to give money to your Guru? Give it to the poor person to feed them. You don't have to give them money so they can go out and buy drugs and alcohol. That's not serving them. Give them food. Give them shelter. That's what Guru Sahib advises us. There's another thing about Guru Sahib. They were very much into herbal medicine. A lot of people don't realize they made a herbal center. And at one point, this center for herbal medicine in Kirtpur Sahib, they even helped the son of Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was a Mughal king, the king of the country. And his son was not well, Dara Shikoh. Now Shah Jahan had not been a good king towards the Sikhs. His soldiers had fought battles against Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, the 6th Guru, the grandfather of Guru Har Rai. And yet, his son was ill and needed help. And he thought, my Guru will never, he said, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji had battles with me. His grandson's not going to help me. He said, it won't happen. Why would he help me? I fought against him. But somebody said, no, Guru Sahib's not like that. You should go and ask him anyway. He's not that kind of person to hold grudges. He's very forgiving. And so, he did say, send some people over to go and ask for help. And Guruji straight away, they sent the people off to get the medicine and send it to Dara Shikoh. And Dara Shikoh got better. And the line from Barney comes, Bure ka palakar. Somebody who's bad, do good for them. Instead of doing bad to them, do good for them. And Maharaj says, an example they gave there, they said, look, with these hands, we break flowers. And then we bring the flower here and we offer it. Now the flower is so compassionate. The flower is killed by one hand and it's offered by another, but yet the flower gives fragrance to both the hands. The one that breaks it and the one that gives it, or the one that takes it. It does not discriminate. The air does not discriminate. So Guru Sahib does not discriminate. Bure ka palakar. Later, when Dara Shikoh got better, he came to meet Guru Sahib. But the problem was, Dara Shikoh's younger brother was a little bit megalomaniac, a little bit power hungry. And what he did is, he put his father in prison and was looking to kill Dara Shikoh, his elder brother, and he was helped by his younger brother, but later on he kills his younger brother as well. And he ended up killing Dara Shikoh. But Dara Shikoh, when he was running away from Aurangzeb, he came to Guru Sahib for help. In that time, Maharaj did help him. And there's a line, this line, you see the Gurbani there, this Barney is that Barney that was given by Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji to Shah Jahan, to say, when your son is taking this medicine, make him say these words. We all know these, a lot of us Sikhs know these words, which is by Mahalla Tija, Guru Amar Das Ji, Jagat Jalanda Rakh Le, Apni Kirpa Tar, Jit Dware Ubre, Titte Le Ubar. Maharaj says, the world is burning, Jagat Jalanda Rakh Le. Oh Vaheguru, save it. Apni Kirpa Tar. Do your blessings and save it. Now when he gave these words to Shah Jahan for his son, he said, don't be thinking about me when you say these words. Talk to your God. So these words are not just my words. Talk to your God in these words. Say to God, the world is burning, I am burning, save me. Jit dware ubre, titte leho ubar. Whichever way it can be saved, save the world. We're not about saying that we're the only way to God. We're not an exclusive way to God. We're an inclusive way to God. Everybody can come to Gurdwara. Everybody can read Barney. They don't have to worship Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They can worship Jesus, they can look after the Prophet Mohammed, and yet they can learn from Sikhi as well. Guru Sahib is Jagadguru, to teach everybody. Updes Chohavarna ko Sanja, for everybody. Now, the passing of the Gurgadi from Guru Harraj Sahib Ji to their son, Guru Harkishan Sahib Ji. Aurangzeb asked, because he heard that Guruji had helped his elder brother, he got annoyed. And he said, bring him here, bring Guru Har Rai here. He called him. Guru Har Rai refused to go. He said, I'm not going. They sent their son instead, their elder son. Ram Rai was sent. The younger son, Hari Krishna, was very young. They were only about 5 years old at the time. Maharaj sent Ram Rai. Ram Rai went there and talked to to Aurangzeb for quite some time. Now he was asked a question about something objectionable, they said. There's a verse in Gurbani which says this, Mitti Musliman ki pede pai kumyar, kad pande itta kiya, jaldi kare pukar. Maharaj says in Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj says this, that the Muslim's body decomposes in the grave. Everybody decomposes, we know that. Now the thing is that the Abrahamic religions believe that one day the bodies will be reconstructed. That's why they bury them. They don't want to get rid of them because they'll be reconstructed. But Guru Sahib believes that the soul does not go through one life, it goes through many lives. And that body decomposes and it gets wasted. But they give an example here. They say the Muslim fears being burnt. They fear being burnt. And yet, you see, the body decomposes, becomes into clay, mud. And then the potter, he's very clever. He wants nice clay to make his pots. And the best clay is found in the graveyards. So he turns up to the graveyard, digs up all the mud, and takes it back to his clay oven and makes it into pots. Now where's the clay come from? The bodies. So Maharaj says, Musliman doesn't want to get burnt, but the potter used the clay for the pots and burns it in the oven. And when the clay is burning in the oven, then you can hear the cries because he never wanted to get burnt. Maharaj gives an example here that actually the body is not real. The soul is only real. But Ram Rai, he gets questioned about this. And Ram Rai wants the Mughal kingdom to support him to become the next Guru. He doesn't want his brother to become the Guru. He wants to become the Guru. So he says, oh no, you've made a mistake. It's not Musalman, it's Bayman. Says the person who's got no faith, not the Muslim, but the person without a faith. So he changes Gurbani. And for a Sikh to change Gurbani is the worst sin ever. A Sikh can never change Gurbani. How it's been from Guru Nanak Dev Ji's time is how it is now. It's not even one letter is changed. So our Guruji themselves put this together. Very unique in the whole world, where a scripture is put together by the founder themselves. It wasn't made 500 years after Guru, it wasn't made 60 years after Guru, it was made whilst they were alive. And they sealed it, everything was numbered. Ram Rai also starts to do some magic tricks and miracles. And Sikhi forbids us to do this for the sake of impressing people. And Guru Sahib heard about this and they said, I never want to see you again. To do this, to change Gurbani, to break our rules, as my son, as my representative, they said, I don't want to see you again. And Ram Rai was not allowed to come to Guru Har Rai's face again. And Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji then nominated his son, Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, who was only 5 years old at the time, to become the next Guru. And Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji becomes the Guru. Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, then in 1661, they pass on the Guruship. The interesting thing about Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, the son of Guru Har Rai, is they were only Guru for about 3 years. From the age of 5 to the age of 8. For 3 years they were the Guru. Yeah, they passed away when they were only 8 years old. The light went back to Vaheguru. And then the 9th Guru, who was he? The uncle of the 6th Guru, then becomes a Guru. So it goes down a generation and back up again. Okay? But it stays in that family. And if you look in our history, you find out why that happened. It stayed in the family. So, Maharaj, we come to the end of the Katha. And we just go back to the point, for us, if we're going to learn about our Guru, we need to understand that throughout the Guruship, throughout all the Gurus, what you get is the same thing. That Gurbani is the most powerful thing there is in the world. Which every Sikh should endeavour to learn Gurbani, to learn and understand it and read it. The benefit of that will be shown to us. Even when we leave this world, it will still be there to help us along. Yeah? It will shine like that butter inside the pot was there. I'm sure I made loads of mistakes in that Katha. Please forgive me. Please give me your blessings. I can carry on walking the path of Sikhi, learning more myself and sharing that with yourselves and the wider world. So, Deho Sajana Sisriya, Jo Hove, Sahib Se Mel, Pura Chukki Dikhe Bakhni Ji, Gaj Gaj Ke Fateh Akhni Ji, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Vaheguru